The Headless Horseman. It begins with the sound of hooves, not slow footsteps, not breathing in the dark. Hooves. Fast, heavy, violent. Like something dead is riding through the trees with no reason to stop. In Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Horseman is not a simple ghost story. He is a nightmare with armor. A mounted corpse with no head, no mercy, and no human hesitation left inside him. And where his face should be, there is only absence. That missing head is what makes him so disturbing. Most monsters show you their eyes, their teeth. The horseman gives you nothing. You cannot read him. You cannot beg him. Washington Irving's original story describes him as the ghost of a Hessian soldier whose head was taken by a cannonball during the Revolutionary War. He rises at night searching for the part of himself that was lost. His violence is not random, it is ritual. Burton makes that legend physical. The horseman is not a blurry phantom. He has weight, metal, speed. He breaks through the fog like a warning that arrives too late. If you hear the hooves, he is already close. If he is close, the night has already chosen someone. The Witch in the Woods. Before the horseman rides, something is waiting deeper in the trees. The Witch in the Woods is unsettling because she does not need to chase anyone. She's already exactly where nightmares say she should be, hidden away, surrounded by roots, mud, and silence. Her appearance follows one of horror's most ancient images. Her skin is pale, grayish, and dirty, with a wrinkled, almost corpse-like texture. Her face is sunken and harsh, with sharp features, a wide, unsettling mouth, and an expression that feels both mad and supernatural. In Burton's world, the woods feel infected. Twisted branches bend like claws. The trees look like they've been watching the town rot for generations. Inside that darkness, the witch becomes part of the landscape. She does not feel like someone living in the forest. She feels like something the forest has kept. In old folklore, witches were imagined as people who could interact with hidden forces, spirits, curses, the dead. In horror, that becomes more specific. The person who understands the rules everyone else is too terrified to name. She is not scary because she is physically powerful. She is scary because she knows. Burton's witch connects to the old hag archetype, the isolation, the firelight, the sense that her body has been warped by what she carries. She's a warning that in some worlds, truth does not make you safe. Sometimes truth makes you less human. The sandworm. The sandworm does not hunt like a normal creature. It waits beneath a dead world. In Beetlejuice, it lives in a pale desert-like realm outside life itself. The ground is empty. The sky feels wrong, and then the sand moves. It erupts with a body too long to understand what it wants. Its black and white stripes make it look unnatural, like a living warning sign. Its mouth is huge and packed with teeth, but the most disturbing detail is the second mouth inside the first. A smaller head hidden within the larger one, as if the creature is concealing another predator inside itself. Sandworms are connected to the dangerous outer regions of the afterlife world. They are not ghosts or people. They are cosmic predators living where the normal rules of death no longer apply. Across mythology, giant worms and serpents represent chaos beneath the surface. The dragon, the worm, the world serpent, all come from the same fear. That something enormous is moving where humans cannot see. Burton's version is not majestic. It does not hate you or explain itself. It simply appears, opens its mouth, and turns the afterlife into a feeding ground. The fear is not just being eaten. The fear is realizing that death has wildlife. Oogie Boogie. Oogie Boogie is not just a monster. He's a sack full of things that should never be alive together. In The Nightmare Before Christmas, conceived by Burton and directed by Henry Selick, he looks almost playful at first. A large burlap body, a stitched shape, a grin that belongs on a Halloween decoration. But the longer you look, the worse he becomes. Because Oogie is not really a body, he's a disguise. Under the sack, he is insects, bugs, crawling life packed into one humanoid shape. A vampire is one corpse, a werewolf is one beast, Oogie Boogie is many things at once, all moving together under the skin that is not skin. He's the boogeyman of Halloween Town, but not the kind that hides under beds. Oogie is theatrical, sadistic, and obsessed with chance, dice, games, traps, gambling imagery. He does not want to simply frighten people, he wants to make fear into entertainment. That connects him to the oldest fear in childhood folklore, the boogeyman. In different cultures, it becomes whatever children are taught to fear. A shadow in the corner, a thing in the closet, a punishment waiting in the dark. Oogie Boogie gives that fear a body made of rot. He is childhood nightmare after it has grown teeth. And inside, thousands of tiny legs are crawling over each other, holding him together. The Jabberwocky. The Jabberwocky is what happens when nonsense becomes a predator. In Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, it is treated like a legendary beast, a dragon-like monster with wings, claws, and the presence of something that belongs in prophecy more than nature. But Burton's version looks diseased rather than majestic, sharp and skeletal. Its movements feel unnatural. Its presence suggests intelligence enough to understand fear. The creature comes from Lewis Carroll's poem, Jabberwocky, one of the most famous nonsense poems ever written. And that is where the horror begins. The poem does not explain the monster, it warns you about it. Fragments, jaws that bite, claws that catch, invented words that sound childish and threatening at once. You are not supposed to fully understand the Jabberwocky. You are supposed to feel it before you can define it. Most creatures become less scary when explained. The Jabberwocky becomes scarier because language fails around it. Its world is built from worlds that almost make sense, but not quite enough to feel safe. In folklore, dragons guard treasure and destroy kingdoms. The Jabberwocky does something different. It guards the edge between imagination and terror. A dragon can be hunted, a beast can be named. But the Jabberwocky came from nonsense, and nonsense has no rules. Large Marge. Large Marge is one of Tim Burton's most unexpected monsters because she does not arrive in a haunted castle or a graveyard. She arrives on the road. In Pee-wee's Big Adventure, she appears like a strange but ordinary truck driver. Nothing about her first seems supernatural. She's just a person picking someone up on a dark stretch of highway. But empty highways are liminal places. You are between towns, between safety. At night, headlights show only a few seconds of world at a time. Everything outside that light becomes unknown. Large Marge belongs to that unknown. Her appearance is that of a horrifying bug-eyed monstrosity. Her folklore connection is the phantom hitchhiker, one of the most common urban legends in modern horror. A stranger appears on the road. They seem alive. They speak normally. Then, too late, you realize they died years ago. What you met was only the memory of a death that refuses to leave the highway. Large Marge twists that formula. Instead of the traveler being the ghost, the driver is the ghost. The vehicle becomes a moving haunted house. She proves a monster does not need claws, wings, or a cursed sword. Sometimes all it needs is a truck, a dark road, and a story it has been waiting years to tell. What makes Tim Burton's monsters so memorable is that they do not all come from the same kind of fear. The Headless Horseman is a fear of violent death that refuses to stay buried. The Witch in the Woods is a fear of forbidden knowledge. The Sandworm is a fear that even the afterlife has predators. Oogie Boogie is a fear of childhood nightmares rotting from the inside. The Jabberwocky is fear of imagination becoming uncontrollable. And Large Marge is fear of the road, the stranger, and the ghost story that turns out to be real. Each one feels different, but they all share the same quality. They take something familiar, a soldier, a witch, a worm, a boogeyman, a dragon, a truck driver, and twist it until it becomes both strange and unforgettable. Because the scariest monsters are not always the ones that come from nowhere. Sometimes they come from stories we already knew. They just waited for someone like Tim Burton to show us what they really looked like. The monsters don't stop here. If this kept you up tonight, good. There are darker things waiting in the next video. You've already come this far. Watch it now.